Okay, guys, I want to show you my list of food items that I have so far that have been okayed. I'm just going to hold it up so you can kind of see for yourself what I have. And if you are doing this, what you could do is if you want to write out all of your favorite foods, whether you think they're good for you, bad for you, all of them, you can write them all out. I didn't do that. I just went to the things I knew that I would gravitate towards more than others. And so if you wanted to write all of your items down and then muscle test or energy test is what I like to call it. Just take your finger, establish your yes and your no, and then take the other finger and go down each list to get a yes or a no. Now, and then you can cross out the things that are a no that are not aligned with your current goal. Right now, this is based on my fat loss goal, and this is I can draw from these foods, the ones that I've written so far, to create meals. Now, this is not an extensive list, but like I said, this is like my go-to. For example, fish and all seafood. I don't like all seafood. However, instead of just doing all of them one by one, I'm like, well, is all seafood okay? Perfect, fine. I don't have to think about that. All seafood. I started off and I put fish, but fish, crab legs, lobster, shrimp, those are my four main go-tos. Also salmon. And I also like the salmon in the can, the wild caught red salmon, because that's really good for you. And at least it used to be. And apparently it is for this physical body. I like making salmon croquettes. And I put that one separate because it's in a can. I wanted to know. I didn't check in on tuna. I think I checked in on chicken. The thing for me, if you look at this list, Amish chicken, it has to be a certain type of chicken. It can't just be any chicken because of what they do to the chicken. So that's why I specified Amish chicken to see if that kind of chicken is okay. And also you'll see I have Chipotle here. And Chipotle is a yes because of how they do their foods. But at the same time, it's like check in on the ingredients. So on the days that I'm going to get Chipotle, I would simply check in on what ingredients I would have put in. Now, I might have mentioned to you, I mentioned to you another video that beans is a generally a no. Black beans is probably okay every blue moon. The only legume that my body has signed off for is black eyed peas. But if I'm going to Chipotle, for example, I might get black beans, no pinto beans, but black beans, and then the chicken and salsa, things like that. And I am fully aware that the sauce has tomatoes. Tomatoes is an only every once in a while thing. But like I said, each time I'll check in because one minute it might say, yeah, add the tomatoes, add the cheese, the chicken, and the black beans. Another time it might say, go ahead and add the brown rice. Most of the time it's probably going to say no brown rice, no rice at all. I'm not a big rice person, but it can be good. You know what I'm saying? It can be delicious. I'm not frowning upon it. It's just certain things that don't have a taste. And if it's like adding extra calories, I've just never been a fan of it. I'd rather give me double meat, give me the double protein, and keep the rice then, you know. So on days like if it says nothing but the chicken, then I'm not gonna go to Chipotle. If it's like just get the chicken, you know, no corn salsa, no tomato salsa, no black, then I'm not gonna get it. Now, if you can see here on my water, I'm not above drinking tap water. I'll do the tap water. That's what I got. And I'll go ahead and put some lemon in it, cucumber, whatever, to alkaline it and all of that. I also love sparkling water and coconut water, which is really, really, really hydrating, okay? More hydrating than regular water. It has natural electrolytes. So that is one of the waters. But if you could see here, the water, I got a yes on sparkling, coconut, and tap water, but only if I boil the tap water. Probably because a lot of the stuff that's in our tap water does help some of us carry the excess weight. It doesn't help if you're trying to release toxic fat. And when I say toxic fat, that's the fat that you've been carrying for a long time that hasn't cycled out. Typically, the way it works is it's in seasons. If you think about hunter gathering days, our ancestors. So the spring, you have like the berries and things like that. And say you get to fall. Fall is harvest, you're eating really, really good. Then winter, there's not a lot, so you have to like have things kind of socked away from fall to get through the winter. So during the winter time, your body is ideally releasing the fat that it used through the year. Okay. And when it's time, it'll cycle back up and some people gain 5 pounds and then they lose it. It's a cycle. And some people keep all of it. Like myself, I'll be keeping the weight. And so then I'll be carrying this other fat that the body no longer needs. I know that was kind of jumbled up. I'm not a full on scientist on this, but you get the drift. It's a cycle. And if you're not cycling it out, you're just carrying the toxic fat that's just been hanging around. Okay, what else can I say about this? Champagne, I might have mentioned before. See, it says red wine. No. Champagne is, yes, a few glasses per week. I think every champagne bottle has about 4 to 5 glasses in it. So a few glasses per week. I probably would just do the whole bottle a week if I'm going to do a bottle, just because the fizzies go away after a while. And ice cream, it says not for now, but later. So in other words, when I'm get to a certain point and I check back in, the ice cream may be a yes, but it's not a hard no. I got a hard no for bananas, a hard no for red wine, as you can see. And then up here, grapefruit, it might be I'm gonna double check that. I love grapefruit, it's one of my favorite fruit, but it's saying no right now, and you see my sad face because this is the problem. I don't know how to act. The way I eat my grapefruit, I'll have 2 or 3 at a time, and that might just be too much acid for the body. And because that's how I eat it, that's probably why it's saying no, because you the doggone food, you don't know how to act. You're not supposed to eat 3 grapefruits in one sitting. And the reason why they're delicious is because the way I eat them, I peel them like an orange, and then I turn around and peel the skin off and I eat the pulp out. And that is where the money is. And that is what makes the grapefruit so delicious. And that's what brought them to my top 2 of my favorite fruit, cherries being the other one. So, and then a close second, third would be pineapple. Okay. But I didn't include pineapple on this because sometimes the thing with pineapple is cutting it up, and sometimes I'm just lazy and I don't want to get it pre-cut all the time. But anyway, so, and then chocolate, it's once every other week. You see, so it's not saying no to the chocolate. It's not saying no to the ice cream or champagne, but there are some caveats. So have fun with it if you decide to do it. This is my little, this is like my little quick list. And if you do write all of yours out, write them out, write everything out, and then check in. Like if you say you love chocolate and it says no to chocolate for whatever goal you're going for, then you check in and you ask another series of yes or no questions. So the way I know how often for the chocolate, I'll say, well, okay, well, what about every day? So if I say every day, it'll say no. Every other day, every once a week, once every 2 weeks. And so that's how you're establishing the yes and no. And then, so you're pretty much, you're not bargaining with, but you are trying to get to the bottom of it. If it's something you really don't want to release from your diet, like I haven't checked in on popcorn yet. I'm going to check in on the popcorn. In fact, let me do that now. Please show me yes. Please show me no. For my goal, my fat loss goal, is popcorn a part of the meal? Okay, so that's a yes. Popcorn is part of my food meal plan. Okay, and how often? Can it be once a week? Once a day? once every other week, once in a while, sometimes. So sometimes, should I remove popcorn altogether from the food list? That's a no. Okay, so when I want the popcorn, I will just check back in to see if it is something that is aligned with the goal for the day. And that's it. So, yes, on popcorn, just check in. Whenever I have a taste for it, check in to see if it's a smart idea at that time. So, let me just jot that down. Popcorn, and that's how you do it. And you can check in at any time. And remember, you have free will. All you're doing is gathering information, and you can do with it what you want. Okay? If you're serious about it, though, you follow the guidelines that your body higher self gave you and go from there and do it for a week and see how you feel about it. Do it for 2 weeks, see how you feel about it. Check back in again and see if it's something you want to continue, if you need to add or subtract. And you can do this with movement, different types of exercises. If there's certain exercises that you do not like doing, don't do them, because it's gonna create resistance. Why would you continue to show up for something you just simply do not like? Just because they say that you're supposed to do it and it's gonna give you these results, and they make like you might be lazy because you don't want to do it, doesn't mean that you need to do it. Zoom out and think about yourself only, nobody else. When it comes to this, it's about you and you alone. Okay? Any questions, let me know. But definitely, if you like this content, let me know that you like it, whether you leave a comment in the comments or subscribe and thumbs up the video so that I know that I'm not just talking to myself. I'm going to keep chronicling, but I could chronicle this in private. Okay, but yeah, and until the next time, live simply, be kind, and have so much fun, darling.